What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 25th day of July, and here we are at about $115.6 thousand, 9 hours, 36 minutes left in the day. It looks like we got that shakeout down to 115, 114 after all. I'm not entirely sure if it's over. We dropped as low as $114.7 thousand. I could see us going lower. I really could see us going just a little bit lower. Nothing too crazy, right? I don't know if we get below 114K, but if we're looking at these liquidation levels here, let's just refresh it real quick and see what it says. There's still several $billion worth of longs to be liquidated, even at the 114K level, let alone all the way down to about 112K. Longs versus shorts, the longs have it over the last 30 days, perhaps dropping down to 113K. Could be the kick in the pants we need to get these shorts revved up and set us up for that next big move to the upside. I don't know. If we're looking at it here, let's look at the short-term stuff. Looking at it here, we did have a little bit of a bounce. Yeah, let's call it a bounce. Yeah, little consolidation here. Typically, whenever you have moves like this, especially with something that's as low as this on the 15-minute time frame. We literally looked at all the available data on the 15-minute time frame dating back to multiple years ago, and we could not find a weaker reading on the 15-minute RSI. Now that doesn't mean this is the weakest move or the strongest move to the downside ever. Just in a 15-minute time frame, we haven't seen something this tenacious in quite a while, if not ever. I don't know. I wish I had the available data to see all the history, right? I've got the premium, but you need like the premium plus or something to get more data. I don't know. I don't have access to that, but I'm sure somebody does. Just because the 15-minute time frame saw the weakest reading that it's seen in years doesn't mean that it's the biggest move to the downside, right? We get the 1 hour RSI. It's not anything crazy, right? We actually bottomed right at this same area the last time that we were in this range, and we've seen lower readings than this on the 1 hour time frame. Just from a 15-minute perspective, from a very short amount of time, that was an intense drop. That's all I'm trying to get out here. Looking at it on the 15-minute, just because it's been a little bit relevant lately, if we take a relative high here to relative low, you found resistance right above the 382. Typically, what you look for in this scenario is if you go, you go above the 382 like this, you look for support at the 236, and then you come back up and you go to the golden ratio. We did come back up, but we found resistance, immaculate resistance at the 382, and now we're coming down. I would think that this implies that we see a lower low than this low. Now, again, nothing dramatic, but from a low to a high, and here we are bouncing off the golden ratio here. So as I say this, maybe you're watching this video and we're up at 116.3K. We could be up a whole nother like $700, $600 from here. However, I still believe, just looking at this right now, I would think that we do go a little bit lower. 114.2, 113.4, maybe even 113 to 112.7, something like that could be on the table. I doubt that we'd go any lower than this. This is like the last area that I'd expect us to go to, or the final area that I'd expect us to go to if we were to go there at all. That doesn't mean we can't go lower, and that doesn't mean that if we go lower that the bull market's over, man. I mean, sometimes these shakeouts, and oftentimes these shakeouts are more intense than people expect, and that's what a good shakeout is made of, is something that is more intense than people expect, that breaks these imaginary lines in our heads that we have to hold, and as soon as it breaks that, then we've found support. And I actually made a point about that yesterday, and I was just using the wrong line. I was drawing this line here from a low to a low, and I was thinking, right there, that'd be a good place to enter because you broke out of that trend line, but perhaps I should have looked at this trend line instead, from a low here to a low there. It was once we broke out of this trend line, that was a great area to buy. We've actually back tested that trend line for resistance, and we are finding resistance right now. 1 hour, 32 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame. We'll see how it goes. But looking at the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame here, rejecting the 50. You've gotten oversold. Let's look at this. Okay, what happened the last time that you got oversold to this degree, right? Well, I mean, the last time that we got oversold was over here. And we came out of it. Did we see a lower low? Yes, we did see a lower low. So we came out of it, and then we saw a lower low. We got oversold here. We came out of it here. Have we seen our lower low yet? No, we haven't. Let's go back and see if there's another example where something like this happens, right? You get oversold here. You came out of it. No, there was no lower low that time. It's not a requirement, but typically speaking, once you get oversold, yeah, something like this, once you get oversold again, you get oversold again, right? It's like the beginning of the end is what it is. And typically you would expect more iterations into the oversold area, if not some kind of double bottom or a higher low look like this. And it's possible that we could be doing that now. Come on now. We could be forming some kind of higher low here. It's very possible. But looking at the RSI rejecting the 50 like this, I would think maybe not that we get into the oversold zone, but that we would at least interact with the oversold zone, some kind of higher low like that. Or perhaps we do see low readings in the RSI, and we, a very powerful 15-minute reading could beget a very powerful 1 hour reading. It's possible, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see a lower reading in the RSI, or at least something that's in the oversold zone. But something that certainly does, and I shouldn't say certainly, but likely takes us below this low is my expectation, if not at least a double bottom. So something back below 115K, potentially even below 114K, is definitely on the menu right now. So just keep that in mind. Don't get scared. Be prepared. Right? It's all good if we drop down there. It's really not a problem, and it's a fantastic buying opportunity. Right? You're looking on X.com and you're seeing that there's a bunch of people who are panicking. You're seeing that there are a bunch of people who are saying stay calm and buy the dip. Listen to those people. Listen to the people that are saying stay calm and buy the dip. Don't listen to the people who are panicking. The people who are panicking because they don't know what to do. It's their first market and they've never been in a situation like this, and this means it's the end of the world, but it's certainly not the end of the world. The market, none of the major macro market cycle peak top indicators have flashed at all. We have no, other than a little bit of euphoria recently and maybe a lot of good news coming out, other than that kind of aspect, there's really no like technical indicators that have flashed. So I very much believe this is a shakeout. And if you go back in history, you look at Bitcoin and how it performs anytime that it moves up higher, we typically do get a shakeout. I'm thinking that I'm not the only person who's analyzed Bitcoin in the same way, right? I'm thinking that I'm not special, right? I'm just like everybody else in the sense that, oh, the last time we moved up, we moved sideways. We were getting higher lows. Oh, last time we moved up, we moved sideways. We're getting higher lows. And this is exactly what we were saying. This is why I was thinking that maybe that 115 to 114K area might not happen after all, but it was still something we considered, right, this whole time. I'm not trying to act like I called it, like I was right, because I feel like I was more calling for us to not go below here rather than go below here. But I was putting this shakeout, I was putting this exact scenario on notice nonetheless, because stuff like this happens. And again, this didn't happen on any of these. We had some volatility, sure, but they're all higher lows. Now that this has happened, people might think that they know what they're talking about. Like, oh no, we broke structure. We didn't do that last time. That means we're going down. No, I don't think so. I mean, yes, we're going down, but not below this high. I really doubt that we get below 112K. I would even be surprised if we got below 113K, but I wouldn't be too surprised if from here we got below 114K. It's very, very possible that we could do that, in fact. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, 4-hour RSI does look a little bearish as well. Typically when you get oversold like this, you get continued readings, right? Or at least like multiple lows. Here you got oversold, you got a lower low there, right? Here you got oversold. I guess you didn't get another low there. Actually, none of these are good examples. We've just been so bullish lately that anytime we've gotten oversold, we haven't actually maintained oversold readings. But I have a feeling this one's a little bit different. I don't know. Something like this is what I could see happening right here. A little double bottom action, if not a lower low. Something that provides bullish divergence, right? That's bullish divergence there. You have a low close, just below that low close, higher lows on the RSI, right? We've got a low close here. We get a slightly lower low. We don't have to go, again, we don't have to go below $114.8 thousand. We could just go right there above 115K. Get a 4-hour to close there, bounce right off the oversold zone, and that's that, you guys. You know what I mean? There's a lot of volume down there at the low. I'm assuming that there's a lot of people who got shaken out, a lot of people who bought in, strong hand stepped in, weak hand stepped out. If you can't handle the dip, someone else will handle it for you, or maybe not for you, but they'll take the weight off your shoulders. I really wouldn't be surprised if we did go lower. I know I'm talking about potentially finding a double bottom or getting a higher low, but my expectation would be that we see a slightly lower low than this. And the main reason for that, again, is I just think we're finally at the point where we're going to clear out these longs. My theory about ping-ponging between these long and short areas, these like liquidity walls, it's out the window. I think at this point in time, we're going to take out the buy wall. We're taking out the long wall here. And with that, we really could see prices below 113K. So that's the main kind of point here. I think that going down below 113K is a very, very possible option here. If we take a high to a low, I mean, look at this, guys. We're not even at the 1272. I wish I started with this. I should have started with the fibs, because this tells me that, yeah, there's very, I would say less than a 20% chance, maybe even less than a 15% chance that we don't go below this low. We likely will go to 114.3K at a minimum, and at a maximum go to 112.6K. Something in this area. And with its 1618, Bitcoin does like to wick a little bit, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do go below 112K a little bit, or at least right around to 112K. We could back test this area right here for support, prior resistance right there, and that's right there at 112K, right there at a prior high. You know, I mean, it's not crazy to back test that. I would think that there's going to be so much buying pressure though at that area that we probably don't actually see that, right? Just like here, if we were looking back at not this area, but this low over here, right? That low right there. The prior high was at like 170. Let's see if it loads. Yeah, it was over here, right? It's like 170, or sorry, 73.7K, and we just missed it. We skimmed it because there's so much demand. There's so much buying pressure, right? You got a little double bottom around there. You really tried to get down there, but you just couldn't do it because there's so much demand. That's called front running. Whenever a very obvious area doesn't get sold into and it gets bought up instead. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar to that, where we reach for this area, which was not just our little insignificant high here, but our prior all-time high. It's also right below the 1618. I wouldn't be surprised if we found support right in this area. So maybe I'm a little bit more open to the idea that we go below 113K now. But at least something lower than this low would be in the realm of expectations that I have for Bitcoin. So lower prices to come. Don't get shaken out. Bitcoin itself is down about 2.4% today. I mean, most altcoins aren't even down that much, or if they are, they're down exactly that much. It's very limited coins that are down more than that. We're gonna delete this thing, man. This thing's trash. Yeah, we don't need that on this list. But yeah, 115.4K now and dropping. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. We are absolutely still in full bull mode right now. Okay, we're just consolidating. We're still in the same consolidation phase that we were the last few days. We're just a little bit lower now. We might get a final shakeout and then pump to riches and glory at 130, 140K. I'm still expecting that by the end of this month. We do have a little bit of a rally, and it is the 25th now, so we've only got what would that be? Six more days, 6 days, 9 hours left in the day here, or in the month here. So within that time, I wouldn't be surprised if we were at new all-time highs. So we're right at the breaking point. We're right at that time where we will start to see some recovery. But first, just a little bit lower. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.